Good afternoon. Welcome to the market close. Welcome to a bonus market close. You guys just absolutely rocked it yesterday and earned an extra close. So we're here. We're going to look at the market here in a moment. Those of you in Ontario, we got this heat dome coming upon us, and it's already starting to warm up a little bit. Now, tomorrow, we're going to have a humidityindex of 44, and the same, I think it's going to be 45 on Wednesday. So it's going to be hot. But that's okay. Luckily, we have central air, so we're all good. All right. So we did have, well, let's pull it up. We got a red day on the market. A red day, yes, indeed. So we're looking at, so the TSX, it's not down a lot. So it's down 0.32%. Now, if you guys remember on Friday, we had that late rally just before close. Maybe we can get back into the green. I don't think we're gonna, but let's take a look. We'll look at close. We'll take a look. So right now we're down 69. We'll see where we're at when we get there. The S&P 500 looking fine. They're up almost 1%. So almost. NASDAQ is up 1.55. Makes me wonder. Let's see here. What's NVIDIA? NVIDIA is up to 132. So they're up a little bit on the day. Not too shabby. Gold is down, silver's down. Oil, though, oil's up. Look at this, 2.23% up. This is pretty darn cool. Bitcoin is also up a little bit. You can kind of see over here on the chart. Bitcoin sort of started the day going down, and since about noon, it's popped back up. Now these here, they act as kind of a resistance right now. Once we get on the other side, they'll act as a support, but they're the moving averages. So we'll have to see how that all goes. All right, let's look at the heat map. All right, so yeah, the Canada heat map. There's a good amount of red in there for sure. Oh, look at this. This is kind of interesting. CP's up 1.62%, while CNR is down almost 1%. Almost. Wow. Your banks a little bit of down. TD's down. Royal Bank's down. BMO, Bank of Nova Scotia. A little bit. Alimentation Couche-Tard, though, was up a wee bit. Dollarama looks like they're retracing a little bit. Constellation Software down 1%. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's take a look at the ETF heat map, and you can see, I think we're going to almost always see Vanguard doing okay up here. They're almost up 1%, so your VFV. Yeah, what more can you say? I did notice, look at it, XQQ is up 1.49%. So that's not too shabby. And I think I thought I saw some of the, oh yeah, here, VEQT. So that's the Vanguard All Equity is up, as well as XEQT, and it's up a little bit more. It's up 0.52%. Over to the US. Yeah, we got a lot more, we got a lot more green on our US chart. Apple's up a full 2%. NVIDIA just up, not much, 0.11%. Microsoft's up 1.5%. Meta's up 0.72%. That's just not too shabby. Look at this. Tesla's up 5.36%. So that's pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. All right. And crypto. Oh, still a lot of red. Even though Bitcoin is up a tiny bit, everybody else is kind of sinking in the red here. You got Ethereum down 1.93%, Solana down 4.27%. And look at this. Somewhere's in here, there's probably some really random coin I've never heard of. Well, let's go deep. Let's go deep this time. We're going to go deep. We're going to come up with a really weird coin here. I don't even know what this is. I'm going to click on it and find out. It's a Galatasaray fan token. What the banana bread is that? I've no idea. I've never heard of this before. But anyway, it's It's only worth 1.72682 cents. So it's yeah. There's a lot of obscure coins out there, and the Galatasaray fan token, is that like, I'm gonna go out on a limb. Like I'm familiar with old school anime, but is this perhaps some kind of anime? I don't know. Anybody know what that is? If you do, let me know in the chat because I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, that was our weird crypto, our weird crypto coin of the day. We'll do this again on Wednesday. It's slowly become a thing, right? Where I go and I find some weird coin I've never heard of. So we'll continue to do that for sure. Holy banana bread. Okay, let's get to the chat. You guys are here. I want to hear what you're saying. I want to hear. We got Jonathan in. Jonathan's always first, and it's always, am I late? Let's do this. Absolutely. And we got Prairie Investor. Good afternoon, all. Excited for another market close. My daughter took me out to celebrate Father's Day, so missed yesterday's live stream. Belated Father's Day to all the dads in the community. Awesome. Nothing wrong with heading out for a good Father's Day. A good Father's Day. Ooh. I got distracted. I'm going to jump all the way ahead here to Val. They're a Turkish soccer team. Okay. Not anime. That's really, a Turkish soccer team is probably as far away from anime as you can get. I stand corrected. Yeah, and Marco saying a European soccer team. Okay. Did you guys know that or did you Google? I'm just curious. Let's see. So Marco said, "Sup all, Amvas in the house. Hi all, sending you Pacific overcast breeze your way. Stay cool." Oh, absolutely. We'll do what we can, right? What is it? 3:52. We gotta paying attention here as we got the bell coming up at 4, and it's I guess since it's a bonus stream, it's a bonus bell. We'll go with that. Awesome live stream. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see. Marco says, I watched them in UEFA. United European Football Association. This is just me looking at the letters and trying to put them together with the limited information I have. So I don't know. Okay, soccer fan, not a problem. Very cool. Or I guess a football fan if we're talking European. Because I imagine, well, here's a question. And this here is just how naive I am about soccer and football. So I know we call it soccer in North America. But is the rest of the world all football, or is there any other little region that calls it soccer? Just a thought. I'm thinking. My mind says everybody else calls it football except for North America, and probably I don't even know about Central America, to be honest, or Mexico. So definitely an interesting thing. This is gonna stick with me. It's gonna be on my mind all night, and I'll eventually I'll break down and I'll ask ChatGPT so that way there I know. Holy banana bread! Oh wow! So what was I gonna say? Oh, one of the things that I was reading about today is airlines. So if you're looking to fly anywhere this summer, they're looking to pump the price up for you. They want to milk as much money out of you as possible. Now, last year, because they were coming back from the pandemic and people not flying as much, they didn't really bump their prices. So last summer, you could have flown pretty half decent without too many issues. However, this year it's a different story. This year it's like, okay, things are mostly back to normal. And we're just gonna knock them prices up big time. So if you're looking to travel this year, be prepared. You're going to pay a little more for your airplane. So it is something that is coming. Let's see. Marco says in Italy it's called calico, calicio, which means kick. Okay, why not? That's pretty cool. Pretty much everyone else calls it football. Okay. Good vibes is in the house with a good old hi. And we got Jackie. Hi, everyone, from sunny London, Ontario, 34 degrees Celsius, toasty. Yeah, and you're going to get this heat dome as well, Jackie. So it's going to be really hot the next couple of days. So be prepared. Hopefully, if you don't have AC, that's when you want to call up your friend who does and say, "Hey, do you want to hang tomorrow?" That would be kind of one of those things to do. Mary is in the house with a hello. And of course, because Mary's here, that means it's time to hit the like button. So, Mary is, she's like she oversees the like button. So when she comes in the house, she's like your reminder. Oops, I didn't hit the like button. I'll have a cup of coffee here while you guys, collectively hit that button. Oh, yeah. I could taste blue in there. I know some of you did. So thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Ooh, that is really good. So we got about 4 minutes until the market. Well, apparently Amazon has a notification for something, but 4 minutes we got till the bell. I'll get the bell a little bit closer. There we go. Want to make sure that I get it off in time. Another story I was looking at today as well. Vanguard was coming out talking a little bit about rate cuts. And they're kind of following my thought process. So my thought process is that, you gave the rate cut in June. Let's just sit back and wait a little bit. There's no hurry to, we don't need to get aggressive with it. Let's sit back. Let's make sure that, first of all, let's make sure inflation is still moving in the same direction down. And that gives the US a little bit of time to get things in order down there. So that's going to be very, very interesting. So I think that's going to be the big focus this summer is watching the U.S. and sort of seeing what they're doing. I'm pretty darn sure, even if the Bank of Canada, I think, wants to go aggressive, I don't think they're going to do it in July. I think they're going to. I think that's pretty much a given as a pause. The market, I think, has also priced in a pause, and I think everybody is expecting a pause. Now, let me ask: is there anybody here today who's not thinking we're going to get a pause in July? So here's your chance. If you're that one person and you just also happen to be right and says, yeah, you know what? They're going to cut again in July. Drop it in the chat because then you'll get bragging rights. You'll be like, yeah, I'm the only one who called it. So, something to keep in mind. So we'll have to see. Marco's saying raise the rates. That's one of these things. I don't see them doing it for a bit. That's for sure. Oh my gosh, could you imagine if they were to come back in July and say, "Yeah, we made a mistake. We're gonna take the rate back up. We're gonna go back up 25 basis points." Oh boy. I think Canadians would collectively be losing their they'd be losing their stuff pretty fast. So, I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they would do that. What they could do is a situation where you lower the rate a little bit and you keep it low for a while. And then you sort of let the euphoria of that sort of fall before you start bringing it back up. Or you maybe you keep it a little bit lower, maybe even lower it a bit more. And you sort of wait until all of those mortgage renewals in 2025 come through, and then you can go up again. But yeah, right now, I don't think they will raise. I can't see them raising, not unless something drastic happens with the money. Like if inflation starts going crazy, yeah, they're going to raise. No question. But I think right now, I think we're safe from that. And Bonnie's in the house. Hello, Candace. Hello, Bonnie. Bonnie is one of the folks who helped get the bonus market close for today. So thank you once again, Bonnie. Always appreciate that. Lisa says, I wish they would raise the rates. So there we go. We have Lisa and Marco wanting the rates to go up. So, and I know there's more. I know there's more people out there that want these rates back up. And I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. For me, I guess I don't see the need I don't see the need necessarily to raise the rates. But what I would be more concerned about is what is this government going to do as we start to get towards an election and they try to buy some votes. And unfortunately, and I think everybody sees this. I was actually watching today it's time. The bell. Time for the bell. All right. We've done it. I was only like quite literally 10 seconds late. Um, what I was saying, I was watching a video earlier today. It was just, it was like a foreign news video, and they were just talking about Canada. And they're like, what's going on? Why is the Canadian Prime Minister not so popular anymore? And it was kind of interesting that even from the foreign perspective, they're sort of looking and they're like, yeah, and they kind of broke down some of the scandals and some of the reasons for the drop in popularity and the rise, of course, of Polyev. And they came to the conclusion that nothing's really going to stop Polyev. That, the next election is pretty much a done deal in Canada. And even foreign press is starting to come to this realization as well. So that's going to be really interesting, I think. I just wish, and this, even put aside alliances and all of that stuff, or what party you like. What I think they need to do is they need to change their leader up. It's time for Pierre to say, or for Justin to say, I've had a good run, almost 10 years. Let's give somebody else a chance. And that's kind of that thing, because right now, I think a lot of people, it's not that they're mad at the Liberal Party. They're more, it's very streamlined right to Trudeau himself. So I think it's time. I think it's time. All right. Jonathan says, but what about Brett? Is Brett okay? That's a good question. I don't know. I didn't see Brett today. Brett is one of those coins we stumbled on one of those days. Val, very astute. It actually was TLDR. I'm not even sure where that's from, if it's Australia or because, the guy who does it, he has an accent that sounds kind of, it's either Australian or English, somewhere's in that vicinity. But yeah, that was the channel I was watching. So you probably watched the exact same show. I'm thinking that's kind of cool. Very good call. That's a very good call, actually. So, all right, let's get our final look at the market. Let's see. I got to pull it up first. All right. And no, it didn't. But there was a small rally. We were at negative 69. We're now at negative 51. So that's it tried. The TSX tried. It failed, but it tried. And we did finish in the green in the US. Up 0.77% on the S&P 500. NASDAQ, that nice and healthy, up 1.37%. Gold, silver still down. WTI up and looking healthy. So pretty darn cool. Bitcoin is now it's down. Now Bitcoin is actually down. And over to the heat map. And yeah, we still have a good amount of red, but there are winners in there. And if we want to we always get rid of the losers, right? And just take a look and see who really, really won. So as you can see, some of the bigger winners, CP, Manulife Financial, Skidoo did pretty good, 2.53%. Lumen, there we go. Alimentation, Couche-Tard, as I said, they did okay. So not too shabby. All right. Over on the heat map, once again, for the ETFs, pretty much the same as last time, but, VFV did finish a little bit above. And XEQT did beat VEQT. So that is kind of cool. All right. And for the US, Apple 1.97. Oh, NVIDIA actually did fall. So they fell a little bit down to negative 0.66%. Microsoft had a good day. Oracle, 2.3% up, not too shabby. Tesla did finish. I mean, Tesla finished 5.3% up, so that's not too shabby. So look at this. They've got a tiny rally going. Tiny that it's tiny. So we'll have to see how that all boils down. And once again, crypto, now everything's sort of falling down, except for look at this XRP up 5.89%. So that's not too shabby at all. All right. And I do see, let me just pull a couple things. So, okay, so that is UK. I thought it was UK. It sounded more English than Australian. And it was in your feed as well. Okay, okay. All right. And now VicVin is back. Did you check out DeFi Technologies yet? So yeah, I was looking at them the other day. Now they're a penny stock, but they definitely exploded. And let me pull them up again here. Let's see, DeFi. Here we are. DeFi Technology right here. All right, so this is, and they're up even more today. Like I think when I looked at them, they were at like $2.92. So right now they're up to $3.08. Let's pull this out to, we'll just pull this out to the 3-month, and you can sort of see they have absolutely exploded. So I love what they're doing. I think this is fantastic. One of the things that I like, I'll talk about the things I like first. Crypto right now is strong. Because they're strong, a company like this is going to do really well. And just to give you an idea here, so you can sort of see they're a Canadian-based company. Let's see here. So they invest in new technologies and ventures to provide diversified exposure across the decentralized finance system. Decentralized finance basically means crypto. That's what it is. It is a form of decentralized finance. So they invest pretty good. Now, right down here, so actually it's talking about, to see the company's investment products. So they've got Bitcoin Zero, Bitcoin Carbon Neutral, Ethereum Zero. Those are just variations on Bitcoin. So you can have Bitcoin that's been basically mined without creating any carbon. That's kind of your whole idea of Bitcoin Zero, just to give you an idea. But Cardano, Polkadot, Solana, Uniswap, Avalanche, Cosmos, and Engine. I like Engine. So they do have their hands in a lot of good projects. So for that reason, this is a penny stock that I have more faith in it than most penny stocks. But I do have concerns. So let's take a look at my concerns when we actually go look at like their oh gosh, the return on equity is not good. So negative 148.70 return on assets. But keep in mind that this, we're coming out of a crypto winter, and and things have been improving in the last year. So they may be trying to sort of get sort of back on their feet. It looks like they took on a lot of debt because their debt to equity ratio 398%. So not fantastic that way. So definitely one I'm wary of, but there's a lot of potential here. This is the type of stock, like penny stock, that if you're looking to, remember how we talked the other day about play money? This is the type of stock that would be perfect for play money. Money that you're okay with if you lose, but think of the pleasant surprise if this thing were to explode again. Because as I was saying, let me just go back to the overview for a second. This is just let's go to the 1-year overview. So look at this. Before everything began happening this year, we were down around 12 cents. So this is something that if you had invested back then, and there are people, I know people who have been into this, it's hard to argue when, 11, 12 cents, turning that into $3.10. So that's not too shabby. The one issue, and I guess that's really, that's the one issue that I really have. But here's something I do like. If you look at their volume, they do have a big volume. So that's not too shabby. If this were something that, if you were looking to sort of do some swing trading on or things like that, it's there, it's possible. But you have to take the caveat, because it is technically still a penny stock. And you could argue, well, it's above $1. It's no longer a penny stock. You could argue that it's moved to penny adjacent, but Um, I would be willing to give them the penny adjacent level, especially if they can maintain this a little more. This is one I think would be fun to watch. So, Vicvin, bring this one up again because I can't wait to see where this goes. And any of you who want to ride on this one, take it with some caution. And play money. That's what I would recommend. It's for your play money account only because of that risk. But here's the thing, maybe this is the one that does explode and goes to the moon. If that's the case, there will be people on the other side of that who wrote it who will be laughing, saying, "Oh, I can't believe you didn't ride this. We handed it to you on a silver platter." But and that's the thing. Sometimes when you're a bit more on the cautious side, and I also look too, because I have to be on the cautious side. Because if I want to take a really big risk, I got all you guys watching me. So I don't want to sort of jump off a cliff and have you guys all jump off the cliff after me. So I try to I try to stay a little more conservative. It's a little. I definitely stay on the conservative side for that very simple reason. But yeah, no, I think this is a very interesting stock and definitely worth continuing to watch. And in fact, let's do this. Let's go back here and let's go. And that's our MC list, but we also have a market close list. These are the ones that we've put on our watch list. Let's put DeFi in there. Let's get them in here. Here we go. DeFi Technologies right here. Bang. There we go. So now we got DeFi in there as well. And here we go. Let's pull it up. And here you can see, look at this. That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I do like this, but I'm cautious. I like it, but I'm cautious. I'll stick with that. All right. All right. Let's go big me again. Sammer's in the house with a hello, guys. Vinit's in the house. Hello, Vinit. Good to see you. Yeah, Sammer saying XRP went up today because a federal judge has denied the SEC attempt to appeal its loss against Ripple. That absolutely explains it. I did not hear that had happened today. So, but when I saw XRP and, when all crypto's down and XRP's up a bit, I was thinking, yeah, something happened there. So I think XRP, the whole drama between XRP and the SEC, I can't see it going much longer. The SEC has had so many losses now that it's kind of funny. I almost feel like the SEC is like, it's like they're getting to that point where I think they're just going to roll over on this one eventually. They're running out of appeals. They're really running out of procedures to really stop. And not to say they won't go after somebody else, but I think with XRP, I don't think they can win. I don't think they can. I think the tide is much in XRP's favor. So, that's XRP for you. So we got to keep that in mind. All right, time to have a sip of coffee here. So of course it was a big dividend weekend because usually, I think a lot of stuff came out on the 14th. So keep in mind, if a dividend comes out on the 14th, it usually means that you receive it by the 15th, because that's usually your broker receives it on the 14th on the payment date, and then you normally get it about a day later. But many of you, if you weren't paying attention over the weekend, probably looked into your accounts this morning and said, "Ooh, look, I got my Canoe dividends and a few others." Now I'll show you guys. Let me pull this up. All right, we'll go back to here. All right, we're going to go back. We're going to go into the 0 to 100K challenge, and we'll go to our dividend tab. So this is what dividends came in over the weekend on this one. So Timber Creek Financial, we got $1.04, $1.16 for Pizza. Decisive Dividend, 171. and a cool $4 from EIT. So EIT right now, I mean, they pretty much have the most in our. We've had a total right now of $24.60 since the beginning of this challenge, just from EIT alone. So they're doing pretty darn good. Just come over here for a second here. EIT, here we are, right over here. So yeah, they're actually, and they're right now their total return is sitting up around 12.41%. So that's not too shabby when it comes to this. So yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to point out, because that's to me is one of the, I've always, ever since I've been investing, around the middle of the month has been my biggest payday when it comes to dividends. So hopefully a bunch of you guys had some good ones coming in as well. And let's see, Mario's in the house. Hello, Mario. Sammer says, I have a big bag of XRP. I have to keeping in track average price 22 cents. Well, I don't actually know what XRP is at right now, but, well, I can find out in a second. Just go over here to the, let's go to the crypto heat map, and it's right here. So it's up 5.2%, but just click on it and we'll see. So look at that, it's at 51 cents. So basically 51 and a half. So that's not too shabby, Sammer. That's not too shabby at all. But now you just need this to come back up, because look at this, at one point, you were up around 72 cents. So that's not too bad either. So yeah, pretty good. All right. And let's see. Jeff is in the house, says, I got my first Google dividend of $2.55. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Oh, I can get rid of that the thing. Because yeah, Google just started paying a dividend. They haven't done it before. And so here we go. Jeff got his first Google dividend. Fantastic. I like it. John says, my big margin account with RBC Dominion is always slow to update available cash online. I have to contact them to find out the true figure. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. But what can you do, right? Especially, if it's an account that works really well for you, and that's just the sort of the idiosyncrasy that you have to live with on that account. Well, what can you do? What can you do? Vic Vin says, thank you for checking out DeFi. I thought you'd like them. I do. I think they're cool. I do like them. And I try not to like penny adjacent or penny stocks, but that one has me. Now, now let's just finish what Vic Vin said. See, if you look at the last BTC halving, they also outperformed the miners, which is odd since they don't sell the underlying assets they are staking. Huh, that is interesting. Here's a funny little thing. What if I was thinking of a penny stock challenge, just a dinky little challenge. Maybe it'd be like, oh, we could do it this way. Me against AI. So we'll do, let me put this together. But I was thinking, this just popped into my head right now. So here's the concept. I choose 5 penny stocks, and ChatGPT chooses 5 penny stocks. We'll put, let's just say $5 into each one. So basically $25 into, 2 groups of 5 stocks, $25 into each, and we'll see who wins. We'll pick like a time frame or something, or just let it run. We can look in on it every so often when it occurs to us that would be fun to do. That would be really kind of fun. All right, I gotta figure that out. I gotta figure that one out. Means I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research on some penny stocks, because I'm not gonna let ChatGPT beat me. I'm gonna beat ChatGPT. It's like if ChatGPT beats me, it will make me blush. It will definitely make me blush. It won't be a fun situation. Mario says, I see a new stock from Hamilton Ticket, name RMAX, a REIT ETF. Yes. Let me see. I had the page up, actually. I don't know if I still have it up or not. I'm just taking a gander. I don't have it up right now, but yeah, let's take a look at this, guys. And we'll just open up a page here. We'll go to our good old friend Google. All right, R Max Hamilton REIT. That should be enough. Here we are. So yeah, so this here is a brand new ETF that is coming out from Hamilton. So ticker RMAX, they're looking at a distribution of about 13.5 cents per dividend. So the initial NAV is going to be $16. So that means it's going to cost about $16 when they release it. I don't know. I don't have a date yet for when it's actually going to be released. Now, it does not use leverage, so it's just going to be straight up covered calls. And that's fine. That's fine. But one of the things I do like, so yeah, option premiums. Does it give us a date yet? It's not giving us a date, but it is telling us kind of the breakdown of the REITs that they're doing. So we got 35% retail rates, 15% industrial. Let's see, telecom towers, 10% data center. Oh, I like data center. Multi-family residential. I like that too. Healthcare. Yeah, that's not bad. Self-storage. Ooh. Here is a thought. And I'm going to throw this out there. As people's mortgages start renewing, unfortunately, some people they're not going to be able to pay. There will be foreclosures. What then happens to all of their stuff? Hello, self-storage. I wonder if, this crisis, and I wish we didn't have the crisis, but I wonder if we could see an uptick in self-storage. So that would affect, of course, self-storage REITs, self-storage companies. Just something I'm mulling out loud here. But yeah, that's definitely kind of interesting. Let's see here. PSA public storage there. PSA. I wonder. I'm kind of curious. Let's go to PSA. Let's go take a look at them. Or we'll try to take a look at them. Here we go. PSA. All right, public storage. So there they are on the New York Stock Exchange. So it is a U.S. company, but I just want to sort of see what's been going on with them. Now, the U.S. doesn't have the same issue that we have in Canada, right? Because they're, they can take out their mortgages for much, much longer, like 20, 30 years. So a lot of people locked in those low pandemic rents for 20, 30 years. So they don't have a lot to worry about. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, right now it's still technically kind of still in a downtrend. But I wonder, does anybody know of a public storage company in Canada? Well, let's ask Google. All right, let's see here. Public storage stocks TSX. There we go. Let's see. Did you mean? Yes, that's what I meant. So let's see. Self-storage stocks listed. Here we go. Storage Vault Canada and Black Diamond. Well, let's look at SVI. It came up first. We'll see here. All right, we'll go to SVI. All right. They're penny adjacent, so VicFin will like these guys. All right. Interesting. It's like they just heard my thought, right? It's like they picked up on where I was coming from. All right, let's take a look at the last year. And let's actually take a look at the last 3 years. Okay, so they came up, they came down, but it's not too shabby right now. Let's see here. They do have they actually have a small dividend yield. I'm going to take a look and see if they're profitable at the moment. So right now they're not profitable yet, but this is just something, kind of my thoughts. It gives you guys sort of an insight. So sometimes, and here, let me come up big again. Sometimes I'll just have like a thought, like that, like, oh, yeah, there's going to be a need for self-storage. Yeah. And keep in mind, the big need for self-storage hasn't come yet. It's coming. But that's the type of thing that sometimes will make me go off into a direction and run on a tangent like this and start to look at something to say, hey, maybe this is going to be something big in the future, and it's not necessarily like, keep in mind, this to me is, when you look at I don't want to call it, I do not want to call it an opportunity, because, there's real people who are unfortunately being hurt by what's happening in the economy. But when you do see something like this, a trend, an upwards trend, it's something that you could take advantage of for like it might be like a 1-2 year position type thing. I would say at the end of that, at the end of 2025, you're probably going to get out of it, taking your profits. Maybe you'll stay in, but you might at least, take off your profits or your initial principal. But yeah, I see some interesting things here. So this is something, and I'm going to keep my eyes on this type of stuff anyway. And I will definitely share if things start to look like it's going to really work out. All right. All right. We're back from our tangent. Prairie Investors has received Northwest Health, Timber Creek Financial, and Pizza. Nice. Let's see. Penny stocks loving Orc B. I've heard of Orc. I have heard. Whoops. Let's try to spell it correctly. Oh, and let's bring it up so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. I have heard of Orc. I know they've come up a few times. So this is the Orca Energy Group. They are on the venture, but this is B. Okay. All right. So let's go back a year. All right. Well, okay. Definitely a downward trend thus far with them. So definitely interesting. But look at this, 10% yield. Why? That's probably why they came up. I think I've run into them when I'm looking at some of these yields. That's incredible, a 10% yield. But let's go in here and take a look at a couple things here. They're still profitable. So they're in the profitable areas. They are making some money. So 4.98, 2.02. Their dividends, their dividends seem to be pretty reliable there. All right, let's try something else here. We're going to go over to Simply Wall Street and ORC. Let's see here. I want, here we go, Orc B. All right. So they feel that they're coming down. One of the positives that they're saying is that they're trading at 68.6% below their fair value. But there are some concerns here that I see right away. So their earnings have been declining. That dividend, of course, not well covered by their earnings. So there's some issues there. And their profit margins are down. Ooh. So these are kind of some warning signs. But they haven't been missing that dividend. And I did not look when I was over there. Just give me a second. I did not look at their debt. What are we looking at debt-wise? So debt's not that bad. They've got a 46% debt-to-equity ratio. But definitely an interesting company. That 10% dividend is kind of nice. But there are companies that you can get a 10% dividend on, or 10% yield, that are a little bit safer. And I don't even want to say that. I mean, I don't want to say that because I don't think this is a company that will go out of business or anything. If anything, they're probably going to grow. And keep in mind, too, that, the energy sector in general did have a little bit of a downturn. So they just haven't recovered very fast from that. Now, what exactly are they doing in that sector here? Okay, so they have one project over in Songo, that's in Tanzania. So it could be interesting. Here's the thing. When you are going to look, if you're going to invest in a company like this, and they have one project, so Songo, I would research that project. I would research, I would research the wells that they have over there. How much oil's in it? How has it been doing? So I would look at a few things like that in addition to that. Mohammed is saying, I know that you'll win. Yes, I will beat ChatGPT. I will absolutely beat Chat GPT. But yeah, I think we should do it. I think we should do it. I like it. Sammer says, I bet my wife she is playing $5 a week on the lottery, and I'm buying the same amount in meme coins. On the Christmas week, we're gonna see who wins. My bet is on you, Sammer. My bet is on you. Because if anything, as long as you're being a little bit smart with the meme coins, um, you should hopefully at least, you're going to still have something. Whereas every $5 she's spending on the lottery, she's probably not going to win or get anything back. And the occasional $2 she wins here, or maybe if she gets really lucky, wins $10. Yeah, all you have to do is you don't even have to pick something that succeeds. You just need to pick something that doesn't lose too badly, and you probably will still win. Yeah, the lottery. And sometimes people get these ideas. Like, I mean, how many people have sat there and said, you know what? If I just went and bought 100 scratch tickets, I'm sure at least one of them would have $100 winner on it. I should make my money back and maybe a little bit more. No problem. Chances are, yeah, I mean, you might get lucky, but chances are you're probably not going to get lucky. You'll have a couple of $1 ones, so you won't lose your $100, but you'll probably lose at least half of it. But there is that odd chance. I mean, I think my mom back in the 90s won like 10,000 once on a scratch ticket, but I can guarantee you over her entire life, she's probably spent more than 10,000 on lottery stuff. So, they get you. It's the long-term game. All it takes is, and it doesn't even have to be you to win for them to get you, to keep you hooked. All that needs to happen is, your buddy across the street wins. You're like, oh my God, if he can win, I can win. That's kind of how they get you. It's kind of how they get you. So, personally, like, I don't play the lottery at all. There's maybe the occasion I might pick up a scratch ticket, just for fun, but I have no anticipation of winning. So, I just look at it as an entertainment value. So, holy banana bread. Yeah, that's not good. All right. Well, we're at 48 minutes. We're getting closer to the end. If you guys got any burning questions, now's the time. Drop them into chat. I'll have a sip of coffee. If you haven't hit that like button yet, definitely hit that as well, because it pushes it out so that the rest of YouTube knows that we're here. Oh, and as soon as I finish this stream, what I am going to do is I'm going to get the vote up for the deep dive, because I was like, I meant to do that this morning, but I was editing a video all day and getting things all set up. And so, yeah, lost control of time. And Ambas says, in this current market, especially upcoming U.S. rate cut and election, how will these impact oil and energy? There were talks that there is high supply and demand is going down. So, yeah, part of the supply issue right now is the U.S. The U.S. they've been pumping out records amounts of oil, which, of course, has been, it's preventing what OPEC has been trying to do with some of their voluntary restrictions, so cutbacks. So they've been trying to get the price to go back up. The U.S. is trying to, particularly Biden, he wants the prices to go down. And that's what they've been doing. They've been pumping and doing as much as they can. But the reality is, it really depends. Like, the problem with oil is that you can't just sort of predict and say, okay, if this is what it's going to do, because so many economical, geo-economical type things can happen that will impact. All it takes is, for example, more hostility in the Middle East. That will usually drive the price of oil up. A hurricane into the Gulf of Mexico can impact the U.S. production. So there's a lot of different things that will definitely impact that price as we move through the years. Now, I'm still pretty bullish on oil. I think oil's going to do well. After the election, that's when you're probably going to see, you're going to see, well, it depends. It really depends. Like, I don't know what. It's one of these things here. Like, I cannot predict who's going to win the U.S. election. I just can't. It's funny. I used to be pretty good at predicting who would win the U.S. election until 2016. 2016, it's like Donald Trump came out of nowhere. Nobody thought he even had a remote chance. It looked like it was in the bag for Hillary Clinton right from the beginning. But he won, and I was just like, I was amazed, especially how Donald Trump is. He says pretty much anything. He's got no filter. And there were things he said in that election that I was just like, uh-oh. That's gonna hurt him, but no, it really didn't. So, it's one of those situations where it's hard to call. So, I mean, right now he's coming into an election with a whole bunch of convictions and so much drama and everything behind it that logically, if it weren't Donald Trump and it was any other person going into that election with the same baggage that he's carrying, it'd be a no-brainer. There'd be no chance. In fact, the Republican Party, there's no way they would endorse somebody like that. But because it's Donald Trump, it's like he has this, I guess I'll call it a permanent hall pass. So it's going to be interesting. Anyway, the election will be really, really, really interesting. So I think in this situation, I don't think it matters who gets in when it comes to oil. I think even if Biden gets in, I don't think he's going to be at that point because he's already got the election. So I think he's going to back off on oil a little bit. And with Trump, oh gosh, anything can happen with Trump. There's a lot of things, and it really depends. It's kind of one of those things like, you can't listen to the right and you can't listen to the left when it comes to what Trump is going to do, because everybody has people on the left have their, here's our worst case scenario. This is what's going to happen. People on the right, on the right, some of them have rhetoric saying, "Oh my God, this is what we're going to have happen once we get the White House back." I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle. So we'll have to sort of see. I look at it this way. No matter what happens in the U.S. federal election, it's going to be an amusing thing to watch. I'm going to put that on the line. It will be amusing. And someday in the future, when kids are learning about this in history, if you're still alive, you'll be able to say, yeah, I was there. I saw it. So I think it's going to be a very amusing election. All right. MSS was made aware of site operation, was made aware of site options, or option strat, bull and bear options, corporate bonds, wondering if you're familiar with it and if that is something that you can help when deciding market selector direction. Thanks. Okay. There's I think what you're talking about, and I could be wrong here, but I think you're talking about just some of the you have bear and bull ETFs. They're using options, for example, for those. And so a bear ETF, basically they're shorting. They're shorting the stock. So, the bear ETF will be shorting, let's say it's a Tesla bear stock. They would be shorting Tesla and, of course, collecting premiums, and that's where you're getting all of this money. And they're normally using a leverage on it as well. So they may have, let's say, 2x. So, for example, if you were to buy 100 stocks, well, they'll actually be shorting with about 200 stocks for your $100, for your 100 stocks, because they'll buy your 100 stocks with your money and they'll buy an additional 100, in there or the equivalent. But that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be shorting. Now, with a bull stock, Now you can also get some of these hyper bull stocks where they're using leverage and they're writing, basically they're longing. So they're doing longs for the bull ones, shorting for the bear ones, and you can make a lot of money with it. But here's the danger. The danger is that you can lose a lot of money as well. So one of my favorite examples, whoops, oh, I already had it up. Okay. One of my favorite examples is HOD. We'll bring this over. So this here is the Beta Pro crude oil inverse leverage daily bear. So, all right. Oh, and I saw something there that I did not know existed. We'll take a look at that in a moment. But let's just take a look at the 1 year. So when you're looking at this price, so this here is when oil was doing well. So when oil's doing well, this ETF is plummeting, and it's going to, so, it's going to plummet at twice the speed at what oil is rising because of the leverage. Same idea. When oil is having some troubles, it's going up at about twice the speed. So it's, like at one point, this was worth $12. So it's lost half of its value, roughly half of its value from this high, at least on that year. All right, I need to take a look at something here. I saw it and I was like, what? All right, let's go here. This one here has CC on it. No, I think it's the same one. Let's just take a look here. Yeah, it looks exactly the same. I just saw the CC and I was like, did they make a covered call version of this? But I don't think they did. I think, okay. No, okay. I just saw the CC, and I think that actually has to do with which exchange it's on. So it got me excited for a second, like, what's going on? All right. Let's see. Okay, with Trump, he really could make negotiations to stop the war, right? I think he overestimates his abilities. He'll certainly get his he'll certainly get in the middle of it, but I think there's the problems in the Middle East are, I don't think they're an easy fix. I don't think it's a situation where Trump can just walk over here and say, stop it. No more. He can't do it. He just can't do it. So, it's kind of this thing. You got to remember, Trump is that person that he talks a big game. And he tries. I will give him credit. He does try to do the things he claims he's going to do. But that doesn't mean he's going to succeed. And I don't think there's a simple fix for the Middle East. I don't think that's going to happen. See, Mario says Trump is going to make America great again. Well, I don't know. It's one of these things. Like, I mean, once again, it's a slogan, right? And once again, he makes a lot of promises, and he tries. He will try to fulfill some of them. Some of them he may not, because it's in the situation too. And you also got to look at it this way too. Here's the difference. Like in his first term, he was always planning to come back for a second term. In a second term, so a second Trump term, well, he can't come back for a third term. Well, unless, of course, he completely modifies everything, but he can't come back. So because he can't come back, I don't think he has to cater to any particular groups, unless, and this is kind of far out there, but let's suppose he's planning to keep the Trump name on the ballot, even if it's not him. Let's say Don Jr. is up next. Oh, God help us. But it could happen. It could happen. So we're going to have to, like I said, this is all going to be very interesting to watch. So we'll have to sort of see how it turns out. Muhammad says, I got 100 shares of BDT Bird Construction. I like that. At $20, and now it's $25. Should I buy more? Any Canadian construction stocks you advise? Yeah, well, Bird Construction is definitely a good one. As you know, I added it to the 0 to 100K challenge. So I do think they're going to do well. And I think that they're going to go higher than 25. there will be corrections along the way, but this is the type of stock that you sort of buy, you sit, and you just give it time because there is going to be a lot of emphasis on construction. There's a lot of different timber ones, like I think there's Acadian timber as well that I like. So definitely a few different ones that we could look at. Yeah, I'll definitely run into more of them as we do more videos and such. Mario says Trump will build a wall between Canada and we're going to pay for it. um, with what? Justin will have to print a bunch of more money if we're going to pay for it. But nobody wants a wall between Canada and the U.S. Part of what makes North America great is the fact that we have this giant undefended border between Canada and the U.S. When you start putting a wall up there and you're patrolling it, that kind of starts to become a defended border, if you ask me. So I don't see that. But I did watch back in 2016, I think it was. He made this reference. He called Canadians snow Mexicans. I was just like, what? What? But that's when he was going on about the walls and saying, oh yes, after Mexico we'll do Canada. Keep the snow Mexicans out. I was just like, oh my God. But anyway, Jordan says better late than never. How are you, Candace? I'm fine. And we have Meow with a nom nom nom. Probably means that she's hungry. She might need some cat food. John says, second opinion, bullish on Bird. I'm bullish on Bird too. I think Bird's going to do really, really well. So it's definitely a stock that I think it's worth watching. I'm glad that I'm in on them. My only regret is that I would have liked to have gotten in a little more than I did, but they are strong. And for those of you on the U.S. side, Bird Construction they are listed on the New York Stock Exchange as well. I'm trying to think what they're called on the New York Stock Exchange. For some reason, I think Bird, or Bird something. Let's see, Bird there, blue. Where is the U.S.? Let's see, that's all Birds, Bird Construction. So Bird F. So on the U.S. Stock Exchange, they are, here we are, right here. This is the U.S. one, so Bird F. So but there was already a Bird in the U.S., so they had to go with Bird F. I wonder if there's like a Bird A, B, C, D, and E as well. I don't know, but we are there. All right. Jungle Lady says, I broke down and opened a position in SCHD. A lot of people did. All right, everybody. So we're at the end. Thank you guys all for coming out on a Monday afternoon. We're going to be back here on Wednesday, and it's going to be hot. Like I said, 45 humididex in Ontario. So going to be boiling, but that's okay. Hopefully we have some good market days between today and Wednesday. I can't wait. And on Wednesday, we're going to have a chance. If you guys want to earn a Friday, we'll give you that chance to do that on Wednesday. So I'm hoping some cool stuff happens on Wednesday. It will be fun. I can't wait. I will see you all there. So until then, everybody, take care, and we'll talk to you all very, very soon. And look out for that video due tomorrow for the growth ETFs. Definitely going to be one that'll grow on you. So we'll leave it at that. Take care, everybody.